girl Shontis Keepin It 100. I'm super excited to be back. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Before we get started into anything today, I just want to say, I'm super sad about Frankie passing away. That's Keisha Cole's mother, if some of you don't know. If you never seen the show, they kind of pretty much talk about like the struggles that, Frankie had, and also how it affects all of the siblings. And Keisha, she had just gotten her mother back, so to see her mom battle, different battle her drug addictions. I'm not really sure what she was doing as far as the using part, but to see her, have to see her mom go through that, my heart, breaks, because I couldn't imagine how she felt. All I do know is that Keisha loves her mom, nephew, all of her kids. They all seem like they had a good relationship despite her struggles. And I'm just praying for the family to have healing, because at the end of the day, no matter what your mom has done, you love your mom unconditionally. I don't know if y'all seen a little clip from one of her TV shows with Keisha and Neffy and Frankie and all of them, but I seen one clip, and basically Keisha was outside and she was talking with her mom, and she was telling her mom, like, she don't want to have to go find her, one day, and go look for her, and and get that bad news, or go try to find her, and God forbid something happens. She loves her mom despite whatever. She may have been raised by someone else, but this is still her a biological mother, and she didn't want anything to happen to her. So Frankie looked at her and said, "Well, baby, I don't want to live forever." And Keisha said, "Mom, I couldn't imagine not being here for my children." Like, and the fact that you said that, that kind of hurt her a little bit, because she wants her mom to be around as long as possible. She wants her mom to get the proper help that she can get. And she said that, well, one thing you need to know is your mom, because Keisha said your mom's supposed to be like your protector. She said, "And I will always protect you, even spiritually. I will always be here." And for you, Keisha, for Neffy, and for all the siblings that, I'm at the moment mourning her, all the family members, I'm super sorry for your loss. But one thing Frankie did say is that she will always be here, even spiritually. So I'm hoping that, you guys can be able to sit back and laugh about some of the good times, because she was definitely entertaining and fun to watch. And I love watching TV shows that you can really feel like you can connect with. They were able to give you the good, bad, and the ugly, but when it was all said and done, they came together as a family, and that's what it's all about, family. If you're currently not speaking to your mom or dad or sisters or siblings or anything like that, life is too short. You don't want to look up and say, "Dang, I wish I could have, told her I love her before she passed away," because that's the worst feeling ever, not being able to say, "I love you, Mom," not being able to communicate with each other, even during the good and the bad time. So we're going to get into a new topic. First off, I want to say something about jealousy. We're going to get into jealousy. Jealousy is a very bad disease, and I don't understand where this disease come from. It is very contagious, and unfortunately, a lot of people are suffering with this disease, jealousy. Listen, why are you mad at someone else for doing what they need to do to be great? I watched a clip. I watched something where someone was basically upset with her twin sister. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all heard about it, but her twin sister allegedly got a record deal or something like that. And I'm thinking she must have got $1 million, and the sister felt like she was out of the loop with the situation, and she was basically jealous of the fact that her sister was, coming up. This sister did all the things she needed to do to get where she wanted to get at, and this other sibling was upset, and they were twins. And usually twins, y'all have a special connection, but she was mad at her sister. So the stepfather had to get in the situation and feud this disagreement, right? And unfortunately, during him feuding a disagreement, the sister didn't get shot, but the stepfather got shot. And she was still worrying about the money instead of worrying about the fact that her boyfriend shot her stepfather, allegedly. And when I heard this story, it just broke my heart, because you have to even be careful with family. Do you hear me? You can sit here and think that you can tell your family certain things, and they'll still, feel like you owe them something. In this particular situation, I feel like this girl, the twin sister, must have knew how her other sister was, and she decided to keep it private. And when the sister found out that she didn't let her know, she basically wanted to seek revenge. How can you seek revenge against someone for their blessings? Like, I could never understand for the life of me, why does somebody else feel like somebody owes somebody something? Like, there's this thing, right? If you're from a particular state or whatever, you know, a lot of people feel like you're supposed to give back. Don't get me wrong. I feel like it's definitely nice to give back to somewhere that you know, grew up. It was your hometown. If you want to give back to the community, if you want to give back to, you know, show how much you loved, you know, everybody there, and you knew that they didn't maybe have the best schools or the best supplies or maybe fix a community center, cool, that's fine. But people got to stop being entitled and thinking that somebody owed them something. This person has worked hard and made it from the bottom. Do you hear me? Like they say, started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Okay, this person has made it from the bottom to the top, and y'all want handouts. Y'all want somebody to do something that you feel like they should do. But this is their money. They are obligated to do what they feel that they need to do. They have families just like us. And guess what? They have different type of tax brackets. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we can't sit here and just assume just because somebody look like the Joneses and they look like they balling, okay, that they got it to give. If a person is just making it, allow them to thrive and flourish the way they should. And if they want to give back to the community, they'll do that. But stop being mad at people for going off and fulfilling their dreams and not coming back to certain places and giving back, because it's not their job. It'll be nice, but let's be honest, it's not their job. You know, and I feel like people try to tell celebrities what they should do with their money, and that ain't cool, because at the end of the day, and until you're in their shoes, you don't need to be telling them what they should do with their money. If I would rather a person give because it's from their heart than them to forcefully give because somebody else is telling them to do it. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I believe. I don't think that it should be a situation where a person is forcefully giving something because they want to make others happy. If it ain't in you to do, don't do it. You know, be who you are. Stay true to yourself. And if you're a person that just like all your money and don't want to give back, then that's on you, you know. But I'm not gonna make someone do something that they don't want to do, or counsel people for not doing these things. I know that we have a new counsel culture, but I mean, we can't counsel people for every situation. We can't counsel people for being who they are. Since when are people not allowed to be true to themselves? If you were selfish, you're gonna remain selfish. You know what I'm saying? All it is just money and a person really showing you who they really are. That's it. That's what I believe. Okay, so jealousy. I don't get it. Like, I could never for the life of me be jealous of someone else, you know, wins. To see people really around here upset about another person, and it usually be in our community, that's what makes me upset too. Like, and I don't want y'all to get upset. You know, I'm not trying to upset nobody, but why can't our community stick together? Why can't we be happy to see someone make it out of the hood? Why, if that person goes back, they have to think they're better than someone, and maybe they can't make it back to their family members because they come back to meet everybody and greet with everybody, and then maybe, God forbid, they're no longer here. They've been murdered. Why is that only in our community? Why can't we celebrate wins together? See, now, you know, and I know the other day I was I posted something on my TikTok, and I was basically saying I want to hear people wins. I don't want to only hear their losses. And I wasn't saying that because I want to be in nobody's business. I was saying that because I'm like, dang, you know, a lot of times you only get to hear negative things. A lot of times you don't get to hear positive things from, you know, your friends or your family members, and it would be great to hear their wins. But now when I sit here and think about it, people don't want to share their wins because they don't trust certain people. Not everybody is genuine. And then that led me to, well, you know what? Maybe we should change our circles around a little bit more so that way we can be more comfortable with sharing our wins. And that way, you never know, by sharing your wins with a particular person, they may can point you in the right direction to someone that can help you be even a bigger winner. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to be on a winning team, baby. And if somebody can point me in a direction to where I can make more money, that can bring my, you know, that can help my family elevate and that can help us get up in life, then I'm all here for it. But I think that's the big issue. Not everybody are comfortable with telling people, hey, by the way, I just got, you know, a raise and now I'm making $100,000 a year, because you never know if this person is plotting against you and trying to send somebody in your home. Or and like I said, I don't feel like it's all of us that are this way, because I feel like it's a lot of black successful men and women these days that are leading the game, baby. We got so many people that are becoming entrepreneurs, and I'm super excited for us. But for some people that feel the need to take from people like us that are working so hard at our craft and that's just trying to make it like anybody else, it's not fair, because you can do the same thing we're doing. Why is it that, you know, with us working so hard and losing sleep at night and doing everything we're doing, we have to be hated upon, or it's jealousy? Or why is it that if a person is talking proper, like me, I want to just be proper. I want to, you know, speak with class. I mean, yes, I know how to sometimes get a little hood if need to be. But I mean, if I want to communicate a certain way, why is it that I have to be looked upon as I'm thinking I'm better than someone? I don't understand that. Like, just because I'm talking with class, I have to be better than someone because I don't want to be ratchet. You know? I mean, sometimes you have to learn when to turn that on and turn it off. And we have this new thing where if someone is talking proper, there's a new thing where you're called white because you're speaking proper English. I don't understand that for the life of me. I mean, last time I checked, it's just proper English. You don't have to be white because you choose to communicate in a different way. Because just like how you can communicate properly, you can still communicate with slang. But you guys have to learn when to turn it on and off. And this is something else I wanted to tackle. And I know some of y'all have experienced this, but I make people feel real crazy when they do this to me. So I come into a store. Now, there have been circumstances or situations where someone that is not African American feel the need to act African American with me. And when I say act African American, they may think that all African Americans that they come in contact with may be loud or may speak in slang or may have a certain type of, you know, something about the persona that they think that they should be able to, you know, get comfortable with. So I come into a store and I'm like, hello, how you doing? Hey girl, how you doing? And it's like, I'm fine, how are you? Oh, child, we got this and we got that, and girl, let me hook you up. It's like, I feel like it's really rude if, you know, you're just assuming that because I'm black that you have to basically act like me or talk like me or get on my level for us to connect. You get what I'm saying? And it's, you know, for one, I don't want to be seen as somebody that's always litty and turned. Like, I want to be perceived as, okay, when I step out and I'm dealing with certain establishments, or if I'm dealing with, you know, a certain person at the store, that I can be able to communicate with them properly and not be, you know, and not them make assumptions that I'm finna come up in here and be like, girl, what's good? I want me some gel and I want this and I want that. Because I'm not, listen, I get it. We can definitely do these things. I feel like black people, we're very talented and we know how to like turn stuff on and off. Customer service, hey, how you doing? You know, like, we're not going to be doing all of that on customer service. When we picking up calls, we sound like totally different people. Like, we're very talented people. We could turn stuff on and off, but it's a perception that when we step out, that people automatically assume that we're going to speak with slang or that we're going to be ratchet. And I make people feel really, really stupid, because I'm not going to give you that that type of feedback that you're looking for. And guess what? While you're sitting here and you're doing all of that extra stuff with slang, I'm going to be my true self today. And I'm going to be like, yes, I would like toilet paper. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. Like, I'm not on that. Like, I'm not, don't play me like that. So that's something that I've noticed, that when you go to a lot of stores, like, people tend to think that they have to get on your level. But maybe that's not my level, and you don't have to go there. Because I'm a totally different person when I go out in these stores, and I know how to market myself. I know how to brand myself. So what I'm not trying to do is make people think that they, you know, that I'm a ratchet person, or I don't know how to communicate properly, or I'm not smart and educated, because I'm all of that and above. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something that I felt like I need to touch bases on, because I'm like, seriously, like, this is a crazy perception to perceive about people. And just because somebody's talking proper does not mean that they think they're white or they think they're better than someone. It's just called, this is just how I want to talk, and this is how I might have been brought up to talk. That's really all it is to it. Another thing, this is actually something that I need to share with y'all. I thought this was so hilarious. So I have one of my aunts that I spoke to just the other day, and you know how they have Instagram, and you know, on Instagram, like, I'm you got two people talking to each other, and you know, I'm doing my lives and we talking about a lot of stuff with healing and getting things going, you know, to help people. So my aunt called me and she's like, Ashanti, girl, I seen you on the news. And I'm like, really? She was like, yes, I seen you all in the news. She was like, you are killing it. She was like, I seen you broadcasting everywhere. You were talking to all kind of different people, baby. And I was like, really, auntie, you seen me? She was like, yeah. She say, I know you getting famous, and I know that, but I just want to let you know, don't forget about your auntie. Your auntie love you. Do not forget about me. You're getting up there. And that really made my day because she said to me, she said that when I looked at you, I smiled because the stuff that you say to people is so real and it's so true. And it made me feel good watching you and seeing you reach so many people all over the world. Mind you, I never told her, well, auntie, Instagram Live, when you see people talking to each other on Instagram Live, that's just the way it is. Like, you know, you can go live and you can talk to many different people and add them in and, you know, converse and talk about different topics. I never really told her that, hey, that's just something that we do here. Because, you know what? I liked it. I liked the fact that she said, I'm all everywhere. I'm all over the news. It made me feel good because I want her to manifest that in my life. Sometimes I'm okay with you saying certain things that's so sweet because I want to be everywhere. I want to be global. I want to be healing here and I want to heal there. Like, I don't want to just be in one little small little box. So if my auntie said that I'm all over the news and I'm global, honey, then I'm global. And I'm everywhere, okay? Because auntie done spoken in existence. And sometimes, you know, you don't have to always correct your family members. You can just go with it because when you really sit back and think about it, it's nothing wrong with what they said. Like, why would I not want to be all over the news? Why would I not want to be reaching everybody? That's my goal, right? So now we're going to jump into something else. Now, this topic right here, I know y'all have all heard about it, and it honestly was a shocker for me. Well, I really can't say it was a shocker, but I talked about this on my Instagram Live, and I want to bring it to you guys on YouTube. Erica and Safaree. Now, this is the thing with this whole situation with marriage. Marriage is definitely something serious. I heard the part recently when Safaree was on an interview, and he said that he didn't know that marriage was something. Well, he said that being married, it became too serious. And I kind of understood what he was saying, but I don't think that he said it the right way, and that's why so many people were not happy with his response. I think what Safaree really meant is that, you know, being married became too serious. Like, things that used to be so fun doing then, it was no longer fun now being married. Everything just became like it was just everything was so serious. We can't do the things that we used to do now because, you know, now being married, it may be perceived differently. You get what I'm saying? But I think with him saying that marriage is so serious, a lot of people were so upset, and they're like, duh, marriage is serious. Like, obviously when you committed. But I don't think he even meant that being married is serious because you're committed. I think it was just like the responsibilities of being a married man. You won't know how it feels to be married until you're married. You know, you don't know how hard something is until you actually try it. You don't know how hard it is to raise children until you actually have children. So many people feel like these things should be common sense to people, but it's not common sense if you never experienced these things, or you've never done it, or if you never, you know, had to see your family members struggle, or had to see your family members come from nothing. Some people are just born into money and they've never had a struggle day in their life, so they could not relate to people that may have been in poverty. So we can't really expect, you know, Safaree to know certain things, because Safaree seemed like he always, you know, have had fun, and everything in his life was not always so serious, but just like fun. Like, he was always litty. You know, next thing, Safaree will be pop locking and dropping it or something, like, ooh, you know, like, that's just what he do. Like, so Safaree, I'm here to tell you that marriage is definitely very serious, and when you make those vows, it's supposed to be for better or for worse. So that means good, bad, everything. You're supposed to be there till this person is old and dried up like a pickle. You supposed to be there. I'm hoping nobody get dried up like a pickle, but I'm just giving you an example. You don't go into marriage with blinders on and not take it seriously. You don't do that. Now, I'm not gonna make this a bashing Safaree video, and I don't want to bash Erica Mena. I want this to be a healing situation. So, Erica, this is my thing. I don't know why women these days think that when you're going through a situation in your marriage that it's okay to bleach your husband's clothes, to destroy his property, to do things out of anger. Like, let me ask you this question. If you had a friend that did this to you, would you put up with that type of behavior? Why are we expecting our partners to put up with behavior that we wouldn't even put up with from our own friends or anybody that are close to in our lives? See, we never think about situations literally like that. Like, okay, if my friend got upset with me and she just started bleaching my stuff, damaging my motorcycles, what would I do? What would I do? Sometimes you can't put it in a situation, you can't think about it just being husband and wife. You got to think a little bit above, because I feel like people are so used to being in toxic households and seeing so much toxic drama and arguments and relationships, so they feel like that people should accept this type of behavior. But I'm here to tell you that bleaching somebody's clothes, disrespecting somebody in front of their parents or their mom or their siblings or friends is not cool at all. I understand that you're upset, but walk it out. Give yourself a moment. And if you still feel enraged, then maybe that person is not for you. Because I have never, in all my years of being with my baby, has never, ever considered or even thought about bleaching his clothes. I would never do that. Like, I feel like that, I'm so glad Safaree was not the type of man to be abusive to her. But I feel like some men, they cherish their Jordans, they cherish their shoes, they cherish certain things. And, in life, we're not supposed to look at things and idolize them, or put things above, God or anything like that. But sometimes men do that. They are so crazy about their shoes. Oh my goodness, I could sell these for $500 if I hold on to these for 5 years. They collect their jerseys, they collect their motorcycles. And these women know that how precious these things are to them. If I know something that's very precious to someone, I'm not going to try to hurt them because I'm upset with them. I'm not doing that. That's childish. We're married. So why would I want to mess up something for you and then maybe later have to go purchase it all over again because I'm angry? I'm not breaking your phones. I'm not going through your phone. That's all. The whole reason we got married is for better or for worse. Yes, but at the same time, when it comes to worse, how worse are we talking? Because I'm not going to get abused every single day. I'm not going to be mentally and emotionally and upset all the time because you're constantly making me feel small. You're not tearing up my property. You're not calling me outside my name. It's just certain things that we should not have to put up with. Point blank, period. And I feel like society is normalizing toxic behavior. People are telling people, oh, go back, telling Safaree to go back. But if he goes back and the situation is worse and he put his hands on her, then that's a whole totally different situation. Because I'm not going back to somebody that done all that stuff to me and I'm that upset. It's best for me to stay away because you never know what I may feel in that moment, and you say the wrong thing and God forbid it can go left. So I think the best thing he could have did in that situation is walked away, because thank God it didn't get physical. And I can't say it was alleged, all these things was allegedly, but it was said that, she got physical, allegedly, a couple of times with him and disrespected him and made him feel very small and stuff like that. And when we get married to these men, I want y'all to understand something. They are not our properties, and vice versa. Women are not your properties. People treat their significant others like property, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. Nobody owns anything. Yes, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives, but you don't own me. You don't dictate my whole life. This, you can't treat people like that, like possessions. That's not a partnership. Like, you have to learn how to communicate healthy. You can't be slamming doors. You can't be breaking stuff. You can't be talking to people crazy and then thinking that this marriage is going to work, because it's not going to work. That stuff you supposed to went through in your teenage years. We got grown adults here. We should be talking about prosperity, talking about building, being on our J&B stuff, like trying to get empires. You get what I'm saying? Like trying to elevate and get to the next top level. Like, but we're not. We shouldn't be around here fighting each other and trying to hurt each other and going through custody battles and all this craziness. Well, for what? So I can't say I was a little disappointed in the whole Erica Mena and Safaree situation, because when you seen it all play out on Love and Hip Hop and you seen how much he really, really wanted to be with her, And then all of a sudden, all of that happened. It was like, wow. And then some people were saying like, look, he chased her down, and then he finally got her and threw her away like some trash. I mean, that's basically what I got from what people were saying. Now let's get into this. I don't know about y'all, but have y'all ever wanted something so bad and then you finally got it and realized it wasn't even really all that? What if it would have been one of those situations? He wanted her because she was so pretty on the outside, but maybe in the inside not so pretty. Because I could be this most beautiful, this attractive woman ever, but I have the worst attitude. I'm not submissive. I never cook. I never clean. I never do anything to help my partner. All I want him to do is give me, but I'm not willing to do anything to basically make this relationship work. I'm not willing to have healthy communication. I'm not willing to go through counseling. And now that I done got this man, all I want to do is let him put babies in me, but I don't want to have intercourse on a regular. Because sometimes people get married and then they think that because they're married, they don't have to do the things that they did before they got married. Oh no, I'm here to tell you, if you were that bunny rabbit, Energizer bunny before the marriage and that kept going and going and having your fun in intercourse, I'm gonna need you to be that same Energizer bunny now that you got that man. And this man is not good for just popping out kids, okay? Like, some people only want to do stuff when it's time to make babies, and like, no, that's not cool. Another thing I want to say about the Safaree and Erica situation is that a lot of times we don't listen to our partners. Our partners tell us something and we feel like how we feel is more important than what they feel. Warning comes before destruction. So Safaree told her that he didn't know how hard it was to have a child. So he wasn't really looking forward to having another one. That didn't mean that he wasn't going to have one 5 years from now in the future, but he didn't want one right now. She felt like he didn't want them to have another kid because she got fat. That was her thing. But let's just go there for a moment, and we're going to jump back into the other situation. So say if that was one of the reasons. That's how he felt. Maybe he's the type of man, because he's health conscious and he likes to work out and be healthy, maybe he doesn't want a woman that, you know, has gained weight, you know, and not trying to work it off because he wants his woman to look a particular way. Can we get mad at somebody for telling somebody the truth? I would rather my man let me know, like, look, baby, I don't want you to get big because that won't be good for me, than him to cheat on me or our relationship to plummet because he's not being honest with me. So since when have honesty been a problem? So nobody wants a person to let you know what they want in their relationship, and nobody is, you know, I feel like that, to me, I would want my husband to tell me like, hey, babe, you're getting too big. I need you to lose some weight. Or, you know, I don't want you to have another kid because I feel like you gained a lot of weight the last time. And if you're going to have another one, I mean, I would love for you to, you know, to basically, let's lose it together. Because he has a certain way that he likes me to look. And that doesn't mean he doesn't love me. It's just that some men like their woman, you know, nice and tight. They don't, not everybody like BBWs. I feel like I'm a nice big bone woman and I love the skin I'm in, but not everybody like big bones. Not everybody like BBWs. Not everybody like certain things. So you can't get mad at a man for having a preference. That is the thing. Preference. I might have a preference that I want pepperoni pizza, but my partner might want veggie pizza. It's a preference. I can't make you change your preference. People, stop making people change their preferences. This man said he didn't want to have any more kids. Listen to your partners when they say this stuff, because all it's going to do is make your relationship worse. Now, if I don't want to have more kids and you go do the exact thing that I just said, don't get me wrong, it takes two to tango. He could have definitely used protection. However, in marriages, that's very rare. So I'm not going to put all the blame on her, because if he didn't want more children, he should have been wrapping it up, but he didn't do that. So, I mean, hey, the child is here now. Children are a blessing. I'm great. I'm happy about that. But what I wanted to say to Erica is that your husband told you that he didn't want more children. You should have listened to him. A lot of times we do what we want to do because we're thinking about ourselves, and we think that, you know, maybe he'll come along. You were already not happy that he wasn't doing certain things. Like, y'all wasn't spending as much time together because of this one child. And he already said that it was harder with having another child. So getting pregnant and having a kid was not the best thing for you. If y'all, like, a lot of times I see a lot of people that are married that are already going through so much stuff. It's already so toxic. It's already so crazy. And then you have another kid. Since when does a kid fix a situation? Because a kid is another responsibility. Yes, having a child is a beautiful thing, but since when has a child ever made a situation better if you already have unhealthy communication? If I'm not spending time with you already, why would I want to have another child if we're not even barely, you know, communicating healthy, or we're not seeing each other as much? Like, having another child is only going to create more friction, because we're not going to have more time. And yes, children are blessings, but we have to think logically here. Like, I'm so happy that Kim Kardashian has so many beautiful kids by Kanye West, but they had so many warnings in their marriage before they got to the point that they are now. I'm glad that they can be able to co-parent. These are two people that I feel like can co-parent healthily. Jesus, get it out right, girl. Healthy. Got tongue twisted. You know what that means? I need some water. No, I did not go there healthily. Anyways, I feel like them two can co-parent healthy, but unfortunately the marriage, you know, it was dead probably years ago, but Kim and Kanye just kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting, and then they kept having kids because kids are a blessing, but it's even a better blessing when both parents could be in the household, right? So like they had all the warnings, but you know, they kept having kids. And am I saying that it was wrong for them to keep having kids? No, because they're married. But I mean, now these kids can't be in a household with both of their parents. And now it's going to have to be other people around their children. So these are things that I like to think about. Like when my partner tells me he don't want more kids, or my partner tells me that he doesn't want certain things, I'm going to think about it, because if we don't work it out, these are my kids now. Yeah, they may go see you sometimes, but these kids are going to be with me, because most kids are with the moms. Nothing against dads. If the kid's with you, cool. But I'm just saying, like, you got to think about it in that kind of method. Like, who are these kids going to be with most of the time? Is it going to be with dad or mom? Because doesn't dad most of the time usually work more? You know? So these are the things that I feel like a lot of times partners don't think about. And we just want to do things our way and don't take in consideration of what our partner wants and what their needs are. Now, it could have been a situation where, look, Safaree, I understand you don't want to have kids right now. I would love for us to revisit this conversation maybe 3 or 4 more years from now. Erica, I know that might have been maybe a ticking clock for us as women. You could probably agree to maybe freeze your eggs and maybe get a surrogate, because if he was probably, you know, didn't want you to gain a certain amount of weight, cool. Don't get so upset. Nowadays, women have, a lot of surrogates and stuff like that. So I think that it's always a will and a way to get things done. And whatever, and if you really love this man and you wanted to make this work, you do whatever it takes at this point. And Safaree, you know, going into a marriage is very serious. I hope you've learned a lot. Like, it's not a joke. It's not a game. Raising kids is very serious. You know, making a commitment is very serious. You know, some things do have to change. I'm not saying you have to change everything about yourself, but when you're married, there's a certain type of way that you're supposed to move, and you can't be out here moving crazy. And if you out here slinging that thing left or right to all these different women and cheating or whatever, I don't know if you're doing it, but if you are, you're wrong, because you shouldn't have made a commitment with someone if you know you still wanted to play around. Don't chase somebody down and then get it and then bite that apple and then realize that apple ain't quite as tasty as you thought it would be. You get what I'm saying? Like, you already got to sample that appetizer before you put that ring on it. So you knew what time it was. So you should have made sure that, and people already told you about Erica. Everybody know Erica got a little mouth on her. So it was no excuses for you either. So it's like, these are the things you got to think about, because warning comes before destruction. So I'm hoping and praying that you guys can at least be amazing co-parents, or if y'all get some counseling, maybe things can work out for y'all in the end. But all of the stuff that's going on and all of the stuff that's in the media, y'all were already in the media, unfortunately. So it only makes things worse for your kids, because your kids got to read the stuff about their parents when they get older. So be mindful of those things. You understand me? Oh my goodness, what a lot to talk about. And I got tongue twisted a couple of times, but you know what? That lets you know that I'm human and nothing about me is going to be fake. I'm going to bring the real natural me, and that's just it. I love to be authentic. I love to talk about topics that I feel like can bring change and that can bring healing to not just me, but to anybody around the world that is listening to me. I want to help, you know. Again, very soon I'm going to be launching my website. So when I launch my website, so many people will be able to like message me and tell me certain topics they want to hear about. So I'm going to make sure that I add that. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to my channel. And I have my link. It's a link that you guys can click on, and it can give you access to everything. You can be able to find me on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Snapchat, TikTok, Anchor, Breaker. Let me tell y'all, I'm everywhere. Like my auntie said, I see you on the news, baby. You everywhere. Don't forget about me because you famous. So I'm letting that manifest. I'm everywhere. I'm global, you know, and it's only up from here. Make sure y'all click that like and subscribe button. I love y'all. Again, it's your girl Shontis Keepin It 100, and I'm signing out.